Hey everybody, it looks like we chiseled our way right into the spot where the motor goes. So the motor's in there. We had to like notch this little place so this could pass and drop down, and we had to notch this little place so this piece could pass and drop down. And now we got room. We actually got about a half an inch of room on that side and more than an inch on this side. So we're looking good clearance wise here, and here we have a ton of clearance. But the reason this motor's off center is because the piston and the cylinder is going sideways instead of straight up and down. My diesel goes straight up and down, but this is a Honda GX 390 copy, kind of a clone, made in China, of course, by a reputable company. Sumo Auto is one of the top people that make racing engines in the Philippines, and they're the reliable ones, Sumo Auto. So you can remember that name, and all the top racers run these. So anyway, we are now going to configure the exhaust, and what I'm probably going to do, you can see how close this is getting to the side. I'm probably going to come out here, right here, and go elbow over and then back, so I got clearance here. But let me jump out of the boat, because I am in the boat, and I'm going to jump over the side and get down on the ground where I can be more in line with what we're doing. That orange PVC is the 1 inch that we're going to use to mock up, and there's some more orange PVC, and we got a bunch of couplings and stuff too. So we're going to glue it all into shape and lengths and everything of the stainless steel that we're going to need, and you'll see it. So we'll be back with more by Paradise. I've been tying ironing. Perfect fit for that engine, boys and girls. Paradise. Hey everybody, check it out. I got my exhaust system mocked up. See that? We got the dual exhaust going out. We had it, we're going to have to rig a couple of elbows here somehow, and my welder will figure that out. But we're going to have two pipes go out. There'll also be a flapper on probably each one. There may be some air separation here, like a 1/4 of an inch. Or maybe we'll put like a 3/16 1/4 inch rod like this in between the two. This is more of a 3/16. This is about a 1/4 inch. Between these two, we'll put a couple of spacers, and then we'll have like a fly hopper door that'll be hinged up here, so that when it runs, it opens, and when it stops, it shuts off and doesn't let water get back in here and down into the exhaust and stuff and rust it out. But anyway, it starts here at the head. That's where there'll be a flange bolting to the head. Comes over here, elbows. Here it goes down slightly. This here angles down slightly. It's not straight, 90 degree or horizontal. So it goes down slightly so that it centers it in between this piece of wood and the bottom for heat cooling. It comes out here, goes over here. Now over here we have it. Well, we have it going up right here. It doesn't have to go up. Oh, actually, it would. Yeah, we're going to have to do this elbow to elbow here. We're going to have to do this. So we're going to have an elbow here, we're going to have an elbow here, and an elbow here. This one's going to come up slightly in order to get it to the right height above here. We're going to have some kind of a bracket so this doesn't, shake. We're also probably going to put a 3/16 stainless steel rod like this one, this roughly this size, and make a loop, a ring here, and that's going to set on here. So it's going to be attached to here. There'll be a ring that this goes around this and then over to here to keep this from shaking like that. So that'll be secure. It'll bolt from here to the muffler. There'll be a flange on this side, a flange on that side, and those two will bolt up. There will be a flange on this side here, and there'll be a flange here, and those will bolt up. And of course, you have a single flange there going into the head. I've got all those. I had all the new flanges machined out of 1/4 inch stainless steel, so they're all heavy duty flanges. So the good news is, even with all this angles and stuff like that, you can actually pick this up. Well, I've got it taped there, but you can actually pick this up and it'll all come out. You don't have to disassemble it to pull this whole exhaust system off. If I wanted to, I could add another little short muffler here if I wanted to, but I don't think I want to. We'll see how it sounds and how it looks and everything, but basically we're getting the exhaust out of the boat, and so it's not so loud and behind us out there. So anyway, that's it. We got her mocked up. We're going to probably take it apart and glue it now so that my welder can so it doesn't move. Yeah, we're gonna have to glue all these couplings and elbows and stuff so this doesn't move, and he knows exactly how to make, because if I try to take this off and this gets bumped, it's going to twist, and then he's going to make it going the wrong way somehow, the wrong angle, the wrong whatever. So we're going to glue it together, and we'll be back with more from My Paradise. We're making custom exhaust systems, baby. Look out now. Paradise out. Hey everybody, we are configuring the exhaust, and we've got this much done so far today. This is this piece over here. This is this configuration here. From here up to there, like that, where the exhaust goes out. That's what we have accomplished so far. And then this section here is where the muffler goes. That guy goes in between here and to here roughly. Then we'll have a flange somewhere here and here. These are the flanges we'll have here, and of course one on the muffler and another one here and one on the other end of the muffler. And then this end connects to the engine, and this gets this shape plan. This has to be the shape because it has to fit inside the cooling vents of the head, and if it's that shape, it won't work. So this is the shape, and it goes on here, welded on there, and then that bolts to the head or the exhaust port on the head like that. So that is what we're up to. So far that one is done, and we're getting the muffler kind of resized so that we can close it up, because that hole is bigger than this, and that and this is bigger than that, but that's the pipe we got to use there. So we got to step it down a couple of times here. So right now he's kind of crimping it in tighter so it'll fit on this piece of pipe here. And we'll cut that one off, and then we'll slide that one inside of it and weld. And there'll be a small gap there too. You can see this pipe here. It goes inside there. You can see there's a small little gap there. You can see that small gap. Yeah. So it's a little oversized as we step down. They're all just a hair oversized. Wow. Look at that. Yeah. And then this one, the other end of this has to go in here. And this one is a little bit big too, buddy. You know, that might, yeah. Just tap it. Okay. That's Levi, the man with a plan. So we're done for tonight, and we're going to hit it again tomorrow. So we will be back with more muffler exhaust system making from My Paradise on Battalion Island. Paradise out. Hey everybody, here we are, and look what we've got. Nothing is finished here. We're all just mocking up and still holding on. I've got all these marks here so that they're all lined up perfectly here. See all these little blue lines. That one, that one, that one. To point this guy directly over this corner for this exhaust here to go out. Yeah, see, that'll go there, that'll go here. That'll go out like that, and there'll be a second elbow coming out, a little straight pipe coming up here, a second elbow coming out, and then these will be separated, with about a ½ inch gap between them, with 1/4 inch steel rod welded between them for spacing and cooling, and also looks, I think. So anyway, it's come out right there, right at that 45-degree angle. from the center of this box, basically 45 degrees across this corner and out, like that, my friends. Boom, 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 boom. So, and again, like I said, there'll be a second elbow above this one going out and into this top pipe. So anyway, this is the muffler setup here. So it's all in there. And again, this is all mocked up. I mean, we've all tack welded everything, but that's setting on a 2x4 right now, which it won't be later. It'll be on its own little support. And here's the engine. It's in here. The front cover's on, and the top cover would go over the top here. This is your steering arm here. That orange thing is not a steering arm thing. I just put it on there because that was the easy place to store the plastic pipe. But this is the connection between the engine and the propeller shaft. This is a stopper here. Let me get closer. See right there? You slide that on, tighten it down, and then your propeller shaft can't fall out the back. So if this nut ever vibrates loose and the propeller wants to slide out the back, it can't, because that. And I've got more of these here. These are you buy these on like Shopee. It's like the Amazon and the Philippines. You buy these. Thing is, they don't finish the inside after they machine the ring and cut it to width. They tap it, but then they don't. There's a little slag inside of the tapping that blocks you from sliding it on. So you got to get like a bastard foul or some round foul and get in there and grind that little slag off so this will slide on the way it should. So anyway, the reason I have 3 of these is because I'm going to have an engine in that one, and of course I got an engine in this one, and then an engine in this hole, and they all need to not have their propeller shaft slide out should something weird come undone here. Or if you need to work on the engine, you can take all this off, and that'll just slide back another 2 inches or so, and then you can do whatever you got to do with your engine. I've got to have this welded to this flange here. There's a 1/4 inch stainless steel flange there that this exhaust pipe has to weld to, so I got to take it in, get that flange welded, get the flange welded onto here. This one, see, there's 2 flanges here. If you can see, this outside one welds onto here like that and goes up, and then here's your elbow right there going to the output pipe. So, and then we'll come up with some kind of a stainless steel support to hold this. Now I could go from here to here. I could come from the bottom and put a support, like a little stainless steel bracket here. I could screw in to here, a stainless steel bracket going here, and then put like a U thing, a stainless steel rod with a washer on it at a 90-degree elbow, and screw into the washer into there, and over here, same thing, and that goes under here, and then weld a little U onto that to hold it. And if I ever had to take it out, I would have to unscrew this one and this one, and then it would all come out. That U thing would be loose. It wouldn't be really welded here. It'd just be holding it. The same with this one here for the vibration going like this away, back and forth. I could do the same setup here, 3/16 rod here with the washer welded on the end, so I could screw it to here, going in front or behind of this, and over to here, this one here, the washer, 90 degrees, tack welded, kind of basically on the end of that rod, going across here, and then where this rod touched on the front, on the back, just have a little U thing weld onto that rod to hold it there. And I can show you what a U thing looks like this. So you just slide down there and weld it, just small enough that it'd be snug on here and not bounce around, but not permanently attached, other than it's in the loop. The same thing here, going across here, holding that pipe vertically and not letting it shake too much, because the engine's going to shake. It's bolted into the boat, but it's a single cylinder, 420 cc's. Is about half the size of a Harley Davidson, so you know it's got a thump to it. They got the older Harley were like 888s, I think, 880 cc's, I think 880s or something. Those are the smallest ones, but they had the thump, and this is half that size. This is 420, roughly half that size, so it's still got that thump. It's not a twin cylinder like the Harley, but it's definitely got the thump, and it'll boom, 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 it'll pump and vibrate. So all this stuff is going to try to rattle and shake and stuff, but we stabilize it all. Like I said, the engine's bolted down, so it's not going nowhere. The muffler, once we get it all supported, it's not going nowhere, and then we'll be good to go. So anyway, non-sag epoxy. Whoa, ho, ho, what do we got here, boys and girls? We got a propeller. Yeah, you saw the shaft on the inside of the boat. Well, here it's coming out here to the 3-blade. And we're going to give this a test and see if this 3-blade works good with this engine. Everybody's saying it won't handle it if the engine doesn't have the power. But this, like I said, it's a single cylinder, 420 cc's. I mean, a big piston is big torque. That's just how it works. You know, it's stroke. And I don't know, they have square engines like the Honda. I drag raced Honda engines in their B16s. The stroke and the bore was almost the same. So they were actually high horsepower, low torque. Those are long-lasting engines. This engine here is more torque than horsepower, are pretty balanced. I'm guessing it's 15 horsepower. I'm hoping. Maybe I should say I'm hoping. So anyway, we will test it. And if that doesn't work, here's the propeller shaft coming through here, up under there. This is the tube that the shaft comes in, see right here. And then there's my stopper. I need to move that stopper back more, because if this thing does come out, you see the distance between the propeller tube and the stopper? That distance shouldn't be more than the distance between the blade and the back of the rudder. So if it comes out, it's going to hit his and jam it, and this won't turn. You can't steer because it's jammed up in here. So we got to adjust that stopper so it's further back, so if anything does come off, the propeller doesn't jam into the rudder and screw up our steering. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that now. So I get a tape ruler and measure the two and make this about 1 inch shorter. So I'm going to probably come in another inch, so it'll be about 1.5 inches or so from the opening of the tube to the stopper. So that guarantees, well, I'm saying guarantees that it won't slide back enough to hit the propeller. For the propeller to hit the rudder and screw up our steering. So we will be back with more from my Paradise on Italian Island. Yeah, baby. We got propellers, we got rudders, we got engines, we got all kinds of things. Paradise out. Hey, everybody. We are here, and this is exhaust system day. And what I'm doing is this pipe here, this end connects to the output of the output of the muffler. I'm going to kind of position things kind of upside down. And then this thing here goes on top here and points to these two pipes going. I'm going to try to do a mock-up here. I'm not saying it's a good mock-up, I'm just saying I'm trying to do a mock-up here. So anyway, this pipe here is going to go up by the back of the boat. These, I need to push this down somewhere. Go over. I got too much stuff. Too much stuff. Okay, now we're rocking. Okay, so basically, this, like I said, this is the output of the muffler. Goes over, around, up, meaning up from the back of the boat, up and over to this elbow. And this elbow will go into this exhaust tip. You can see I've got them angle cut. So they're going to be like that going out the back, angle 45 degrees out the back of the boat. So but there's two pipes. So we have to have a second one of these going into here. So how do we do that, folks? Well, let me just show you. Right here. So what I've done is I've kind of laid this piece on this piece of pipe here. Same size as all that. Basically 1 1/4 inch. So, and I've cut an angle that looked like it was proper for this, backing this into here, and it looks good. I've got it all clamped and everything looks good. This one here, this pipe here will be cut somewhere around in here, and then this second one will set on top of it. Maybe it'll set down here, however, whatever kind of spacing I want between these two. These two won't actually touch like that. There'll be a 1/4 inch rod right here. This 1/4 inch rod or 3/8 inch rod will be a spacer between there. There'll be 3 of them, so there'll be one here, one here, and one here. But these will be separated somewhat, and that will to be determined. But we're probably going to cut it right here to kind of keep these close, about that far apart. So we'll cut this off, and we'll weld this piece onto the top, and then we'll have our dual tip exhaust, right there, like that, folks. So what I got to do now, I managed to get this angle cut, and I'm using this grinder here, this handy dandy grinder. This is a big Dremel-like tool, and so back to this. So now I'm going to take my magic marker right here and mark the outline of this where these come into contact. Then I have to slice off the back piece of this so that we have a hole. Obviously there's no hole going through here, so the exhaust just goes through here. It doesn't go up here and out this one also. So I've got to open the back of this elbow here. So that's why I'm drawing that. And then I will cut on the inside of that, so it's kind of on the inside of this pipe. And then we weld here, and then there'll be a hole going through there for the other elbow that's, as I showed you before. So I'm going to do that, and we'll be back with more from my Paradise on Battalion 9. And after this, like I said, I got to cut that back open, so that'll be a fun project. Paradise out. Alrighty, I think we're close to mission accomplished here. So this is the hole that I cut in the back of the elbow so that the exhaust gas will flow through it. This basically goes here like that, you see. I can actually, well, I could actually have vice gripped it, but I just put away my vice grips. I'm going to vice grip it. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So as you saw, there was a hole cut in the back of this, and that goes onto here like this, basically. And then we cut this pipe here, roughly right around a little bit above where it meets that pipe, and then this pipe welds onto the top, and voila, we got our dual. Hey everybody, we're making the exhaust where the tips are here. These two guys are right there. We're making that little fixture. And now we're going to tack weld that one onto there, but I got to give him a hand so we get these two here vertical flush, so that the pipes aren't going like that or like that or like whatever. So he's just doing the finish work on the top, so it's nice and smooth, level too. He's got a heavy grinder thing on there. Let's see. Okay, well, I'm gonna give him a hand here because we got to four-hand this thing. We got to do alignment. I have to hold it in alignment while he tack welds. So, Paradise out. All right, in doing this, there's a weld we have to make before we put the top one on, because if we put the top one on, we can't get the torch. That's the welding part of the TIG weld. It won't fit in there. So we got to do this one first. So he's doing that top weld on that curve. But everything looks like it's lining up nicely. So yeah, see right there. So we let him do his welding thing, and we'll be back with more Paradise out. That's where the dual pipes come out the back there, folks. If you didn't already recognize that. Yeah, what are you looking for? Oh, okay. A better marker. So basically what we have is this. Obviously lined up properly. And it's a pipe coming out this side. And then the second pipe here coming out. Alright. Now we got that one tacked and ready to rock. And we're gonna cut this rod to go one little rod here and one rod in the center and one rod towards the end here. So we'll space them out accordingly. So put the little brackets, the little vertical thing right there. Yeah. That alignment just perfect. All right, looks like we're getting the third one just about there. This one here goes in there with this line and this line. So anyway, I gotta get my hands free, so Paradise out. So there's the system here. We're just strengthening some stuff here because I may have to try to bend some things if it's not exactly the way it should be. But so we're kind of tacking it up a little stronger so that if I do have to put any pressure on it, the tacks aren't going to break. A lot of torque on those. I don't want them to come loose. And this one. Oh, okay. So that's just. Okay. Well, I'm going to grind this off. I'm going to grind this side off. Yeah, because this goes up to the head. I can't have bumps there. It's got a seal. Hey everybody, we got the exhaust pipes coming out the back. Plenty high, plenty to keep the heat away from the wood and stuff and everything else. And people see it, they're not going to accidentally do something and touch it. I don't know how hot it's going to be, but we've got fiberglass wrap too. You see, we got everything all welded up, tack welded. See, it's only a tack weld. There's a weld there, there's a weld there, there's a weld there. So this is just for seeing how everything fits and lines up. So right now everything fits and lines up good. We got this all bolted in here, everything. I snug these bolts up. We're going to start it up and just kind of see how the muffler and everything works as it is here. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to get in and start the engine, and we'll see how she sounds. So we'll be back with more from my Paradise on the Italian Island. Yeah, baby. We're going to start her up and let her rumble. Paradise out. Hey everybody, we started the engine, and believe it or not, it's pretty dang quiet. That's pretty dang quiet. That's really reasonably quiet. And yeah, and tell him it's cutting out. That's really pretty quiet, folks. I'm kind of amazed that it's that quiet. And all these holes leak by the other way. So anyway, you hear the sound? Hardly any sound, honey. Really, really nice. I mean, it's just really the right sound. Huh? Well, yeah, honey, the engine, that's also hot. Honey, this head is burning hot. Yeah, everything here is hot. So this engine fan blows back here, blows everything out the back. Honey? Yeah. So the throttle's right here. Get at the back of the boat outside, but again, this is all the muffler, the hood, and then here coming out, over, upside down. That's what I said, huh? Yeah. We run smooth. Really smooth. So, anyway, very quiet. Everybody, here's a little YouTube moment. What I'm doing, this is a mock-up, obviously. Well, I don't know about obviously, but this is a mock-up of the exhaust. And you know, we got two exhaust pipes going out. If you've been watching everything, they go about like that. Maybe a little, the chickens, now they're quiet until I talk, then they want to talk. But anyway, these are the exhausts. Well, rain and water can get in there. Well, so what do you do to keep rain and water out of your muffler? Well, you know those big diesel trucks, if you're from the U.S., where the pipes go up like that, and then they have a little flapper door that when you start up, the exhaust opens it, and then when I got a piece of masking tape stuck on my wrist here. And then when you turn it off, the flapper door will close. Well, we're doing the same thing. Instead of like this, we're doing it like this. So it opens up when the exhaust is out, and then it closes whenever you turn the engine off. So that's what these are, flapper doors. So basically, and this is not the finished product, but basically this goes over here like this and opens and closes. I got to put like a little hinge, something here, and a little maybe a 1/4 inch or something like that. Little flat piece over the top half only, not the bottom. This is the bottom is going to be that edge, but the top is going to have like a little kind of a rain blocker over it, so that rain doesn't slip in between here and between here and here. There's going to be like a little 1/4 inch wide piece of trim around there. So, and then somehow I've got to make a hinge, so I have to mount something on here. I'm going to use like a 3/16 stainless rod and maybe some stainless washers. Maybe I'll weld a washer here, and I won't weld it. I'll have it welded here and here, and put a stainless bar through there. Have some kind of tab on these, weld a tab, and they'll be hinged through there. So I'm not done. I'm just basically working on this shape. After I get this shape done, you can see it's pretty rough cutting it out of here. I could have just kind of cut a square and then ground everything down, or kind of angled it. That might have been a better, smoother way, but this worked out fine. I just followed the line with my angle grinder and slowly cut it out. Took 2 minutes, so it's not a big deal. So I'm going to draw another one of these onto here, right here. I'm cutting it out next, and then we'll have 2, and then I'll start to work. Then I'll cut a couple strips out, maybe from here, maybe a 1/4 inch strip across this top here. Maybe I'll move this down some so I got more room to cut the strips. They're as long as from roughly this halfway point over to this halfway point, and then they go around it like that. And that's kind of like the top that keeps the water from slipping in between everything. So back to the angle grinder and grinding these things out. I need to shape them a little bit better too. These are oversized too, you see. I don't know how much oversized I really need, but if I put that down there, well, the actual the size of it is that inside blue line, and that's the outline. That's not the actual size. So see, it's oversized like that, and I'll eventually grind it down to where it's an appropriate size. So we will be back with more. I'm going to make another one of these. Paradise out with that. Paradise out. All right, everybody. I've kind of ground this. It's kind of like symmetrical. There's a little bit fatter on this side, I think, which I'll grind down eventually. I'll make one of these. I'll favor one of these sides for the top, whichever one best match that, and then the bottom I'll just grind until I'm happy. But what I've got to do is make a piece like a shield that goes over here, from here all the way around and over to here. So my tape ruler doesn't really flex that well. So the simple way I did it, I just kind of stood this on end here, kind of went a little bit further, and then I just rolled it like that to find out where its length was. So I made that strip a little bit longer just so I can overhang if I want to. And that is the length that I need. And then I made this roughly, I said a 1/4, but I think I've got a little bit more than that on it. We'll see. Right now, I didn't actually measure it. I just kind of eyeballed it, but that, my friends, is 5/16. I'm going 5/16. Let me line it up perfectly there. Yeah, so that's 5/16 there. 5/16. So we got 5/16. And we're going to weld that onto the top of here. We're going to round it, and it's going to be like the rain shield for the top. So I had to cut that piece out. And then I'm doing it just one right now because, like I said, this is all experimental, and I don't want to cut a bunch of stuff up and find out that my experiment isn't working. So I'll just cut one and get it working, and then if that is all fine and dandy, then I'll do the other one. So I'm going to cut this with that bad boy, and we'll be back. Excuse me, with more from my paradise. I'm in Italian Islands. We're flapping. We're making flaps. As you can see, right here, a flapper that'll flap up and down. This is kind of big. Like I said, I'm going to I've got the shape of this side pretty good with this. I can show you. Let me flip it like that so you guys get a better bird's eye view of this. So that is roughly the shape we're looking at. However, that's too big. So after I get this made and formed, and then I might have my welder go ahead and tack that on there, and then I'll just grind off whatever I don't want on the bottom half, because like I said, this could stay here depending on how well the door opens and closes with that flapper, I mean with that trim on there, or I may move it up to like here. So once I have that and a hinge made, then I'll know where this bottom needs to be, and I'll deal with it at that time. So Paradise, well, I'm going to cut that strip, and then I'll maybe take a little bit of trip over to the welder and see if he can do a quickie tack on that. Well, I've got to shape it to this too, and he's really good at that, but I can do it if I have like a round pipe, which I do have pipes, and I'll just and a rubber hammer, and you can just tap it and round it back and forth on that. And I copied my welder. He taught me all of my stuff. Paradise out. Alrighty, I got that first line cut. There is something you should know, that if you're cutting a strip like this, don't cut through this end until the very end, or maybe you just make it thin and then fold it back and forth and pop and break it off at the end, because as you cut here and this thing gets hot, what happens if you cut here before you get here, this end starts to close up and overlap, and now if you try to go back, you're cutting extra off of here. So don't cut this little portion here fully until all this is done, and then like I said, either break it off or do a real quickie cut, and then I got to cut here, and then we'll have that strip, and then I'll show you how I'm forming it. Paradise out with the little cutting tip. Bye for now. Alrighty, folks. Excuse me again. This is my bending setup. I'm going to kind of work this, hammering it around there to get the curve to fit on here. The top. I'm going to call this one the top because that's the kind of the most nearest shape to the top of that. So that's what I'm going to do. So I got my hammer, and I'm just going to kind of hand form it and tap it and bend it and do all kinds of whatever things I got to do. I got vice grips. I've got a bigger pipe. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But in the end, this should be wrapping perfectly around there. Paradise out. Today we're going to try to put these flappers into the exhaust to keep the rainwater out. We're going to give it. The mistake we have with the theory is you probably saw it. Doing that little. The water's already on. All right, folks. Flapper numero uno is tacked on here. We got to, weld around here. We got to close these ends up. I have to do a little bit of a grind. My fingers where I'm at. Am I doing this? No? I do a little bit of a grind right in here because this touches the pipe here. So I'm going to take a little bit off around here. After we'll weld it all up, and then I'll do a little tweak grind on it, make it nice. But yeah, basically, this is the hinge. Wiggles, loose, sway, flaps, squeal it. Like that. And that should keep the rain out. So we got as best we can. You see, it's pretty well sealed up under there. So that, my friends, is flapper numero uno. We're working on the little hinge part for flapper numero dos. So Paradise out. There's the exhaust. We got it all done. We got our flappers done. See our flappers, keep the rain out. Keep out the rain. Because this will be out, coming out the back of the holder. Got her all polished up, all the joints all polished. We didn't grind them down flat because this is going to be subject to a lot of heat. So we left them with the weld bead on there so that strengthen it. And there'll be some vibration and stress and all that, but yeah, everything's pretty well welded up nicely, and we got the polish on it. So anyway, we're going to install that, and we're going to run it and test it. Hey everybody, here's the test of the exhaust system. We got this is the, of course, Trimaran SA150M. It's a marine version of the engine. Of course, all this has been cleaned up. I broke the top here, the plastic, and so I've replaced it with a stainless steel top for when this kicks back. But everything's been cleaned up. Here's the exhaust, stainless steel. Going back to here, over to here, up, and then out here. And then these will keep the rain out, the flappers. So that's how she looks right there. So when we rev it up, see what she does. It'll bite you, it's like a snake. So anyway, we will be back with more of my Paradise on Italian Island. We will be back with more of my Paradise. We got the exhaust system. Oh, you didn't hear it rev up. Or did you hear it? Yeah, I think you did. We'll do it again. She still sounds good, but she's not obnoxiously loud. If you're in the bow, you can actually talk. So anyway, we will be back with more of my Paradise on Italian Island. That keeps the rain out, by the way. Paradise, let me give you a full shot here. Paradise out. Everybody, show you, and you can kind of hear this cell phone doesn't have a good microphone, so I don't know what you're hearing. It may be some weird sounds, but I got the exhaust system all welded and finished and completed. Got the engine ready to go. I need to put the throttle on here, the throttle cable, so I can control the speed. But we got the exhaust system here, all 304 marine grade stainless, all the way to this muffler. This muffler's aluminum. It's just a standard motorcycle straight through muffler. Goes back to here, comes up, over, out to the twin pipes. And these are the flappers to keep the ocean water and the rain and stuff out of the engine. So we, as you see, it's running, the exhaust coming out just fine. So we will be back with more of my Paradise on the Italian Island. We got a hot rod. Paradise out.